What was self-help called before it was self-help? Philosophy. Whether it's on how to be more grounded, more compassionate, less anxious, more productive, these things have been covered for thousands of years from Buddha to Jesus to Plato and Seneca. The main difference is the packaging, or what an academic will call form. The way something is presented is usually more important than the thing itself. For example, how many times have your parents told you to do something and you completely ignored them? But when your friends or a self-help guru tells you the same thing,
well, my sense is that if you want to change the world, you start from yourself and work outward because you build your competence that way. It's like, I don't know how you can go out and protest the structure of the entire economic system if you can't keep your room organized.
Oh my god, that's fucking brilliant. So who is giving the advice? How it is framed? Essentially, its form is what really matters. For example, Jordan Peterson doesn't just tell you to clean your room, but justifies it in relation to the broader environment. Quote, if you can't even clean up your own room, who the hell are you to give advice to the world? And he backs it up by being a multimillionaire psychologist. The context of who you are and how you present your ideas really matter. By the way, this is a photo of Einstein's desk. Make of that what you will. Now, this is exactly why self-help books sell so much in this day and age, while philosophy and literature is barely talked about. This is because self-help books bring you into action very quickly. And most people don't have time to read 300 pages of complex prose, even if it is beautiful. There's nothing new about the ideas in self-help books. They're just written in an accessible way, reduced to its basic elements. But this is exactly why you should read philosophy too. The packaging. For example, the 19th century philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche was not just a philosopher, but one of the best German writers of all time. Now, there will be no use to reduce him into an accessible self-help book, because the form is the most fundamental part about his work. Imagine, instead of watching a film, you just read its summary. It wouldn't be the same, would it? It's the same with knowledge, information, philosophy, and books. And in my belief, it is the form that has the power to penetrate our souls. For example, you can tell people nothing really matters. They will listen to it, probably even agree to it, and then just go back to their meaningless lives as if nothing changed. There's a big difference between knowing something and feeling it, and this feeling is much more powerful. It's like a completely different form of being. Sometimes you get that feeling just by listening to a great piece of music. It's not something someone needs to tell you, it just happens. Nietzsche's whole project was to help people overcome nihilism, at a time when nihilism was at its peak. In the 19th century, as science and rationality grew, old beliefs about God and meaning started to fade. People lost their sense of purpose. Without something bigger to believe in, many felt life had no meaning. They just chased pleasure or lost the will to live. Now telling this kind of person, bro, life is not meaningless, is not enough. Nietzsche needed to appeal to the heart. He knew he had to reach people's hearts. And so his books didn't just give logical arguments, they tried to connect deeply with the reader, almost like he was speaking directly to your soul. Now tell me, what is more effective? Bro, you need to make your life worth living. Or what if someday or night a demon were to steal after you into your loneliest loneliness and say to you, this life, as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live once more and innumerable times more. Would you not throw yourself down and gnash your teeth and curse the demon who spoke thus? Or have you once experienced a tremendous moment when you would have answered him, you are a god, and never have I heard anything more divine? I mean, for some, the simplicity of the first one could be more effective, but for most people, especially if you have a more artistic temperament, the second one will probably connect to you deeper. In fact, Nietzsche's ideas could only truly be communicated by him, and him only, because another very interesting part about Nietzsche's philosophy is that it is full of contradictions. Now, that may seem like a weakness, but Nietzsche once said, one is fruitful only at the cost of being rich in contradictions. Now, this may seem like a strange idea, which is completely wrong and unique to Nietzsche, but that's not at all the case. In fact, the whole tradition of Eastern philosophy is based on paradoxes. Take this passage from Lao Tzu book Tao Te Ching. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. And when I let go of what I have, I receive what I need. It is a strange concept to deal with, and I wish I could explain it to you in an easier way, but that is not possible, because at the end of the day, form matters more than the content. What your brain can't understand through words, your heart and soul might understand with how these words are used. If you do want to read self-help books, I recommend you start with summaries and then go deeper if you like. You can get more than 73,000 free summaries with audio in 40 languages at sobrief.com.